I'ma make it count while I'm here. God is the only man I
Hey,
fear.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Archie Tech Experiment. I will be interviewing Cityy Towers today. I had a great conversation with Amari yesterday, and I posted that. So if you didn't see that, double back and check that out. She's always enlightening and very fascinating. So it was definitely a good conversation. Double back and check that out. But today we have Cityy Towers. He's going to be joining me live on Facebook. It's the same show, different look, different vibes, bigger energy. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it. Understand? We here now. Right.
Yo,
Hey, Cityy
yo,
Towers, what's going on?
goody gang, was goody. How you
I'm
feeling?
chilling. I'm chilling. I think you lagging a little. I'm feeling good. There you go. There you go. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, man. So how was your last battle?
It's good, man. It was good. It was me versus CJA, young gunner, young up and comer in the game. I got a lot of love for little bro. You know, he does a really good job of bringing kind of that new era style of writing and performance over everything. You know what I mean? And a
Yeah.
hell of a job. We had a really dope 3-rounder.
And y'all got battle of the night that night, right?
Yeah, we got battle of the night. I think Casey Kidd and Lil Lee did battle of the night on the other portion of the card. It was a 2-day card, and me and him got performance of the night, or battle of the night rather, on that day. That was day one. Day one was the big card.
Day one was the big card. I didn't actually make it for day two. I wanted to, but it didn't really I just couldn't make it.
It was
But when I was in the building, definitely brought a lot of energy, bro. I called it being battle of the night as soon as I saw it. I'm like, this. I don't care who's coming up next. This is gonna be battle of the night, and that definitely worked out. That was you travel a lot to battle. Like you battle outside of Connecticut,
yeah,
um
often.
a lot. Do you think you have an advantage when you battle, or do you even? Obviously, you have a hometown advantage, but does that affect the way that you prepare for a battle, as opposed to like if you have to travel and you got to win over an away crowd?
I mean, the advantage portion of it doesn't affect how I prepare at all. Um, it's hard to even say advantage because my home league is our battle. I think a lot of home leagues
Okay.
have that type of thing. You know what I mean? Where like the home guy is everybody kind of goes for the home guy. But in our battle, like we're so unbiased and we enjoy, like we don't book people we don't enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like we just don't. That's just not what we do. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of a bit different than our battle. There's not really a hometown hero type of effect. Like you put, a good example of CJA before he battled me, he battled Mike P. And nobody was like biased towards CJ. You know what I'm saying? Like we wanted to hear Mike P rap good. We're not that type of crowd. You know what I'm saying? But I prepare
Yeah.
the crowd in front of me. I'm not gonna so I'm one of the things about me is I'm very multifaceted. I have a lot of different styles. I can do a lot of different things. So if I'm gonna go to King of the Dot, I'm not gonna rap like I'm gonna go to, Hit List West in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just doesn't make sense for me to do that. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes I have to turn on the like, hey man, I ain't fucking playing with you. And then other times turn on the like I could rap very well. We could just make it rap. You know what I mean? Like different. So I really write for the crowd that I'm expected to be in front of me.
Okay. I respect that. I respect that. I think one of your greatest talents, I think, is your authenticity. I think that would you agree with me that carries you a long way throughout your career, being authentic?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's kind of what my fans like from me the most is like they know what they're gonna get from me. And like if you meet
Mm-hmm.
and or you see me in the ring, aside from the fucking yelling that we do as rappers, you're kind of getting the same exact person. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of times people got to turn on the character, especially battle rap nowadays. You even hear them turn on the voice. You know what I mean? Like it's like you be
Yeah.
right before the battle and they be like, yeah, man, can I get a water? Yeah, you need now. Get, yo, 3, 2, 1. Yo, MC to my left. Yo, it's Bark. You know, and you be like, oh, what the fuck? This nigga just transformed. You know what I'm saying? versus me, it's like, you know, I'm like the same all the way through. It don't really matter if
You're
it's
going to get
or it don't matter who I'm in front of. It doesn't matter if I'm on the biggest stage. If there's 7 people in the crowd, you gonna get the same me. So I think that's kind of the attribute that my fans like best about me.
no, yeah, I would agree with that. And so, but my next question, and I know you're probably tired of talking about this, but some of my viewers are new to battle rap. Some of them might not be familiar with battle rap. I do a lot of different things. So, could you explain the Hazy Williams situation? Like, what
Yeah.
actually happened there?
So you mean like why the battle didn't happen?
Why the battle didn't happen, and after the fact, like. I know
Yeah.
that you gave A double one of your rounds. You could have gave it to us, but you know what I'm saying. we respect the game. So and shout out to A double. I salute you, and I respect his work. I do. But like, so could we expect the Cityy Towers versus Hazy Williams battle in the future?
Unfortunately not. It doesn't really make sense. Like, just for two different reasons. Main reasons is the first one is the trajectory. Like, you know, at a certain point, you kind of, even when I just kind of got into the game, Hazy had like a name. He had already established himself. He had battles in URL. Some of them that got vaulted for this reason or that reason, but and then the other ones that did get released. And right when I really started like getting that traction, he had peaked at he had a really big moment with his, like, I don't know if you remember the double dipping joint that he did, but it was like
Yeah.
like the fat nigga bars thing that he be doing. And he had a really big moment with that, and he shook a room. And at that time we were kind of like those two guys, right? Like, people will argue like, yo, he's number one, he's number two. Nah, he's number one, he's number two. um and you know, for a multitude of reasons, it didn't happen back then. I agreed to battle him now, mainly because I just don't like the way he carries himself in many situations. So, and he said a little bit too much about our battle, and it was just a little too much for my liking. I felt like I had something to say to him. I never really felt like I had anything to say to him. And then we booked the battle, and due to unfortunate events, we didn't get to battle. And
You wanna go into like what actually happened that prevented
I'll
you guys from battling?
go too deep into it. Essentially, it was a misunderstanding between the league and myself, and you know, we had opposing views on how, you know, the people I was with, you know, pretty much they was trying to charge the people I was with at the door. But this is at the very, very end of the event with like 6 minutes left on the clock. Like the owner saying like, yo, y'all gotta hurry up and get out of here type of shit. And my people were already inside. They were already drinking. They were already chilling. Like, you know, after the fact, you know, and ahead of time, I had told them who I was coming with. It was one of those type of situations where it was like, yo, I thought this was already cleared. And then, you know, I don't mince words. So when a couple people kind of was mincing words with me and like working around what they was trying to say, but they were saying shit. You know, you don't have to say something verbatim for me to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So they were saying things I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like, and that got me to the point where I was like, all right, cool. So you know what? Then I just won't do the battle. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about that? What if I just be like, fuck it, I'ma leave? What are you?
Which
What do you
which
about
actually which actually that's a good segue into my next question, which was gonna be how do you feel like you grew as a battle rapper? Because as you know, I've been watching your career since the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? Since your very first battle, and I've been following you. Huge fan. I remember the old Cityy that was ready to call his opponent out, battle over, let's go outside and handle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
To this Cityy now has more of a temperament and less likely to take it there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, number one is like, just as a person, you know what I'm saying? As a human being, you have to see what things are flaws. And a flaw that I had was I would allow other people to dictate how I reacted to a situation. So
Yeah,
that's a flaw, no matter how tough you are, how real you are, how much heart you got, what kind of morals you stand on. No matter what, that's always going to be a flaw, is allowing another person to be able to manipulate your emotion. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I
absolutely.
had to regulate more than anything else. Because anybody in New England knows, like, we could go outside. Like, that's not a problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
to this day, but like, you know, you grow as a human being, and you understand a little bit more that it doesn't always have to be who got the biggest dick. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to sit back and be like, all right, cool, you can have that, bro. You're not
Yeah.
affecting my energy. Like, if you're not touching me physically, pause, but you know, if you're not getting close enough to me where I'm uncomfortable, if you're not putting a hand on me, what can you really do? Like, there's your words. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's like the kid on the bus that, you know, waits till he runs on the bus and then be like, oh, your mother a bitch. Like, yeah, but you're on the bus. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're on the bus. Like, so it's like that type of, you know, that type of energy. So that's one big aspect of it. And the second one is like, you learn more and more being in the room with these people that, like, it's a set. You know, it's a set, it's a movie. It's not real life.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
a lot of times these dudes, you know, they don't really recognize that, and they kind of step out of pocket and just because in their head is promo. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to me, but it's like somebody would be like, I smacked this nigga for promo. Like, they think
Yeah.
that's promoting. You know what I mean? Like, and I think oftentimes people forget, like, everything is the real world until we step in that ring. Until the camera on, and we standing in front of each other and dapping up, like, all right, man, and coin tosses is happening and shit. Like, everything else is real life. Like, if you on the internet and you say you're gonna smack me, I'm gonna expect you to smack me. I'm not. That's how I am. I'm not the
Hmm.
nigga that's gonna be like, oh, nah, I'm gonna do this now. Like, nah, I'm not gonna do nothing. You got the anger, I don't. But I expect you to stand on that anger, though. You know what I'm saying? If you say you're gonna do something, like, and now I expect it. So when I see you, you be like, oh, what's good, bro? I'm like, oh, nah, smack me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to do that now. Like, you know, that, you know, so you kind of get out of that habit, because it's like you get there so many times and niggas like, what up, bro? And then how many times am I gonna be like, no smack? Now I'm just like, yeah, what's up, man? You know what I mean? Like, have a go, and you was never gonna do nothing. I knew it. You know what I mean? It's just growth.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think one of the things I respect the most about you is that growth that I witnessed that firsthand, like from your first battle on, that amount of growth. I think that, and that's an incredible thing. Um, your battle with T Top, that was on Proving Ground, right?
Yeah, that was a proving ground in New York, in Brooklyn, I believe.
Do you think two questions that you could probably answer with one answer? First question is, do you think that kind of hindered your career? And second, did you learn from that experience? And
I'll,
just
I'll,
1 second, for my viewers that don't know, Cityy Towers was battling T Top, and there was an altercation between the entourages on stage. And now I give you
yeah, I
you
mean,
to go further.
I wouldn't categorize it as an altercation, but to surmise, URL is its own battle rap. I think
Hmm.
anybody that really is truly a fan of the culture understands that URL is it's its own entity of battle rap. So, like, if you watch even like the fans, like, if you're a really big fan and you watch like all the leagues, then you'll see even like Twitter. Like, Twitter will activate for King of the Dot, for iBattle, for the Riot, for RBE, and it'll be a lot of familiar faces. But then URL will come and you'll see a whole bunch of random people you don't ever see, or people that only pop out when it's a URL card. It'll be a
Yeah,
whole nother Twitter all of a sudden with battle rap. You know what I mean? So, and rightfully so in many regards. You know what I mean? URL is a pillar in
absolutely.
so um I had disagreements with URL and with bookings with them before and after the T-Top thing. Like, I never was, a lot of people, that's a lot of people's end game. Like, I want to make it to URL. That was never my
Yeah,
end game, because I don't feel like they treat their artists correctly. I feel like they treat their artists the same way record labels treat their artists, where it's like,
yeah,
we gonna try our best with you, and if you can't pop, get out of my face. You know what I mean? Versus, like, you can't take a stumble in URL a lot of times unless you got that star power. Unless you know, you could fuck up if you surf or if you twerk, because you got that star power. They know you're gonna sell tickets, but you know, certain people, they fuck up, you know, one time and they never get booked again. You know what I mean? So I never really liked that about their brand. And they were also the first brand that was kind of like trying to sign artists and keep people like exclusively, you know, booked.
to your yeah,
A lot of people had to sit because of that. They was on contracts and they was getting bad battles or no battles, and they had to sit. So there was, that whole time frame was kind of weird. And then when the T-Top battle came about, I was like, hell yeah. Like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never really even knew who T-Top was at that time, but I was like, hell yeah, you know, like, fuck it. Why not? So, you know, so URL played and I looked the dude up. I talked to other people that knew him, and oh, this is a notable guy.
I think before your battle, he actually was on. I think it was 106 in Park or BET.
He was on BET, the UFF. He also did a really good job at Arsenal's league, the Ultimate Warrior, UW. So he was kind of getting his shine up at the time. That whole day was kind of a fucked up day for me for a multitude of reasons. One thing is he rapped way longer than the rounds. That's probably the best thing I could tell you I learned that day is just have raps on raps on raps, because sometimes you go there and they cutting you off at 2 minutes, or niggas is like holding their hand up like this, trying to be like, yo, like we getting to that point. And then other times niggas will just be like, rap. So it was one of them days, like just rap, and he rapped for like 3 minutes every round, and I had like 90 seconds, which is what they told us to have. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have had like 145. You know what I mean? And so I think that's the biggest lesson I probably learned that day. You can see it the most in the third. I like ended the round, and niggas was like, "That's it," and I'm like, "Yeah, nigga, that's the time I got." You know what I mean? And I didn't expect that, so I should have just had more in the chamber just in case. So that's probably the biggest lesson I learned. But you know, the whole thing about the altercation was I was with my cousin that day, and he got absolutely fucking belligerently drunk before I even got to the event. He was already there. He was in New York. So when I got to the event, it was already babysitting mode, and he's not like, he ain't a quiet nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to kind of watch him. Like, he don't get sloppy drunk and start bugging, but he ain't a quiet nigga. So, I was kind of like watching him more than I was paying attention to the fact that I had the battle that day. And then when I got to the stage, I'm doing my thing, and he's talking crazy through my round. You can't really tell too much on the camera because we was mic'd up. So a lot of the audio came directly from the microphone, but it was like, he was like in my ear, like even to the point where like in the middle of a bar, I think it was my second, I turned around and was like, yo, cuz, chill. Like I literally had to like, yo, chill out real quick, and I get back into my round. So I was a little thrown off. And then by the third round, he was doing so much on the stage, they kicked him off the stage. Mind you, this is at this point in the PGs, they was cutting the rounds. So like, I finished my last bar and I say, Tom, the camera would turn off. This is not like nowadays where it's just the film runs all the way through. They would cut the camera off. So there was a quick little gap in time before the next round. So in that gap in time, they was like, yo, y'all got to get him off the stage, man. Get him off the stage. And the crowd started going crazy, because they wasn't really feeling him on the stage talking either, right? They're in the room. They can hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
And then it was just like a little aggressive, and I didn't feel comfortable. So I kind of stopped and was like, yo, ain't nobody touching my nigga. Like, I kind of like started bugging on the crowd or whatever. And then Briz was on the other side of the stage. So he started kind of like gripping up, like, I was like, what's going on? T-Top jumps off the stage. There was no crowd in front of us. They had empty space and a desk. We was on a stage where the tripod with the camera was on this like desk type of shit, or like a table, and it was completely open. So T-Top jumped into that open space, and then I just went all the way off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, fuck, nigga, ain't nobody touching my nigga. Bugging out from top to bottom. And then Debo, big ass, he grabs me like this, like, oh, and I look, I'm wondering who the fuck Debo look at me in my eyes, City, you good. Nobody gonna touch your cousin, you good. You good. As I looked at him, he gave me like, all right, I'm good. Like, I knew he was being genuine, like, and I was like, all right, cool. So we finished it. So the whole battle was just, the whole time my head wasn't really in the game. You know what I mean? So, which I still think I did a fucking hell of a job.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I love my rounds. I thought my rounds were better than his. I just thought they were shorter. That's just my opinion. But yeah.
If not for your cousin, and taking your concentration, because I know some battle rappers that when they on their way to a battle, we can't even play music in the car on the way there. They have to like really be in that zone. So he kind of took your focus. Without that, do you think things would have turned out different at that battle?
I don't think so. T-Top has much more of a URL cater style. You know what I'm saying? He fits that mold very well. I rap a lot. Like, I think of any single URL battler that that raps a lot. That shit don't happen. Niggas that rap a lot, like really, really rap, like in betweens and a lot of cut bars, multis, like those people don't do URLs. Even if you see Disaster or see Past Day on URL, they adjust to be on you. they don't go in there like you don't see Disaster doing a million multis like he does when he's on King of the Dot or when he's on battling one of these oxymyrons or you know what I mean like he's not going to his rap bag. He's trying to go into his battle rap bag. You know what I'm saying? And I don't do that. I'll write towards the crowd, but I'm not gonna like, for lack of a better term, I'm not gonna dumb my shit down. Like I'm gonna rap. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the crowd would have necessarily fucked with me even harder if. I think the only thing that could have had me with a better shot is having longer rounds. If I had longer rounds, I think the projection would have been a little bit different, or the perception rather would have been a little bit different. But aside from that, I think everything was gonna go that way. If I'm really, 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 really prepared, which I was that day, it don't really matter what's happening. I'll get thrown off like energy wise, but I'm gonna get my shit off. Like I'm a performer and I'm gonna get my shit off. Like it's when I'm not prepared that I can be thrown off.
You battle some of the biggest names and battle rap. I mean, Daylight, DNA, Thesaurus, the greatest comeback in battle rap history. Why did you feel the need to say that? And what exactly does that mean to you, the greatest comeback in battle? And let me just say, since you said that, you've really been on a rampage. So what brought you into that mode? Like, why are you getting that comeback back? So
number one is if you're really a student of the game, there's not many comebacks. A lot of them are like somebody might have like died a bloody fucking death and then went on a run after. That's not really a comeback. That's more like vengeance. You know what I mean? Like revenge. Like I'm coming back through the fucking fuck shit up because I took that L so bad. Like, so I thought to myself, I had a one-off in the Grand Prix, in the King of the Dot Grand Prix against Dub the Phenom. Shout out to Dub the Phenom.
You actually won week 15, right?
Yeah. But
okay.
Talking about like the year before they did Grand Prix, which is it's kind of like almost like a rehearsal to the King of the Dot season. And in Grand Prix I had a one-off, and I wasn't super prepared. I was a little. It's fun fact about that. I didn't eat that whole day, and I threw up right before I battled, like because
for the chest.
Right like not even no type. I don't get nervous. That doesn't just doesn't happen to me. But but I literally threw up of like feeling like sick. You know what I mean? Like I haven't eaten. I hadn't drank too much water. I was drinking. That night before was the Mook versus Tay Rock, and I was in New York with Jay Murda and a couple of niggas just from the block, like in a random ass house I never been to, and we was watching the shit and we was all getting fucked up drunk. I actually drove from New York back to Connecticut and then drove back to Jersey the next day, so I like barely got sleep. So I was like little fucked up. And but anyway, so I get 2 bars into the first round and forget my entire round. And I don't like to sit if I don't remember. If I could get it back in a quick second, I'll take it back. But if I'm not getting it back, I don't want to sit there pacing, trying to get my shit. I just don't do that. So I call time. 2 bars, maybe 3 bars into the fucking first round, I call time. And after that, I sat home, and I literally sat in I have like a walk-in closet, and I locked the door of my closet, and I sat down, and I just asked myself, like, yo, if you want to be here, or do you want to be here? Like, do you want to be here? Because if you want to be here, you got to be here. You can't be halfway in there. You just can't do that. So, like, if you want to be here, are you going to grip up and fucking practice and perform and write and not be doing this shit 3 days before the fucking battle? Like, are you going to actually put effort in? Because if not, just call it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't think that you could live with, if future you can't live with present you saying I'm gonna call it, then go and get it, but get it the right way. And I probably sat in that closet for like 2.5 hours, just having that conversation with myself, and I didn't find the answer. So it took me a little bit of time to kind of sit on the question. And when I got to the answer, I said, okay, I'm gonna go. If I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go in crazy. So I said, all right, so that, you know what, then let's do this then. Let's set the highest possible expectation. Let's talk so much shit that you're going to look stupid if you don't get this right. Let's embarrass you, or let's become who you're supposed to be. Pick one. So I went, I said, okay, we're going to do the greatest comeback in battle rap history. fuck every rapper that's ever battled. This comeback is gonna be greater than anything anyone has ever done in battle rap. We're gonna fuck everything up. We're gonna make sure we get big plates. We not taking no small plates. I don't give a fuck. I don't need 1,500. I don't need 2,000. I don't need the money you paying me. Fuck the money. We gonna go in there solely with the intent to fuck shit up. And so, that's how I came up with the idea. Like, okay, we're gonna do the greatest comeback in battle rap history, and that's one of my favorite parts of my career, because if you notice, when I first started posting it, it was like 30 likes, 30 likes on the thing, one battle goes. I did Atlanta first, and then I did.
What was the not to cut you off? What was the first battle you took after you had that conversation in the closet?
I took Rambo on Hit List in Atlanta. The footage actually got lost of that battle. The footage got lost of that whole event. But I took Rambo in Atlanta, wiped the floor with him.
Cleaned them.
Had a hell of a performance. After that, I went to Verbal Warzone, battle Kaboom in Verbal Warzone. Had a hell of a battle in there. I was Philly. Did LA against Kid Clutch. I was another hitless joint, so went to LA.
Saw that was that was the no matter where I'm at, if it's a real nigga in the room.
Yeah.
I'm good. That was fire, bro. That was fire.
That's facts. Like, I feel like any real nigga feels that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I felt that in my soul when you said that, bro. Swear to God.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I did that, and then you just kind of started seeing it, like that 30 likes turned into 50 likes, and that 50 likes turned into 70 likes, and the 70 likes turned into 100 likes, and turned to 150, and you just started seeing the momentum build, and it's almost like predicting the future. You watching yourself in October and looking back at the February I saw you already. I knew you was gonna be right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like,
I like that,
predicting the future. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I got the thesaurus plate, and I knew that was the defining moment for me. Even though it wasn't like, thesaurus is thesaurus, and at the same time, his career is not exactly in the best place or anything like that. But I just knew it was one of those times like, are you going to odd battle? You haven't been to odd battle all year. You go in to odd battle, which is home, right? And you battling an absolute fucking legend. You're on a card with A Ward. You're on a card with Excel. You're on a card, really, really big names. Like I knew I was like, okay, this battle, not only do I have to beat Thesaurus, I have to beat him so convincingly that the people that don't allow him to lose, his fans that don't allow him to lose, have to give it to me. And I also have to out-rap Excel. I also have to out-rap A Ward. I also, I knew how important that battle was.
And it was, and I'm not going to lie. When I press play on that battle, because I'm rooting for you now. Like, I'm rooting for you. I'm like, I'm kind of nervous for my boy, man. And after the first round, I'm like, bro, got it. Like,
yeah, I think most
that back. So
I think most, if you would have, in my opinion, if you would have put a poll up before that battle dropped, or before that battle even happened, if you would have put a poll up and asked who people thought was gonna win, I think it would have probably been 100-0 on the poll. It
would have been 99 because I would have lied for you.
Yeah.
Bro. I would have been like,
it was
but
like
deep down, I'm like, ooh, I don't know, bro. But after I was very happy after the battle. I'm like, bro, bro did his thing. You went in there and showed out for real.
The few dudes that really keep it real with me, they was like, yeah, man, I hadn't seen you in that form in a while. So it was like, damn, like, we know that you're going to have to be in that form to win this battle. Yeah. And in perfect tip-top that form. Not just in that form, like in that form perfectly. So, but I cater my caskets, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to for my opponent. Like, I know who I'm speaking to, and to somebody, Thesaurus has his biggest strength is his biggest weakness, is that he has such longevity in his game. When you got longevity in the game, we got a lot of shit we could talk about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true. Yeah.
So that was my mentality in there. I'm like, okay, we're gonna talk about some stuff nobody's talked about. You in this game for so long, and so many people have talked about so many things you've done and said, and like we're gonna talk about a couple things nobody's mentioned.
Yeah, right after this interview, I'm going back to watch that again because that battle was fire. You definitely did your thing. Question: pound for pound, your pound for pound ranking system. That was your idea, right? You came up with that.
Yeah. I was on a live, and I came up with that.
It's not up and running yet. You didn't start yet, did you?
Now we starting the first week of July. First week of
Okay.
July, we gonna
I'm just
actually
making sure I didn't miss
the
it
list
because
is done. Yeah,
yeah,
the
I'm
list.
looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, the list is done. I factored in a lot into the original list, only because I want to be as fair as possible, and I think that the only way to really be fair is to factor in years and years of time, consistency, and work, and adjust from there. I'm gonna do it monthly. It's gonna change drastically in the first couple months because
Mm-hmm.
some of the people on the list aren't even really like super active. But I felt
Yeah,
like you gotta put these people on the list. Also, just full disclosure, we talking about New England battle rap on this list, so it's not
I understand. Yeah,
list. Chilla's not on the list. I'm not on the list. QB's not on the list. Bang's not on the list. Because to me, we are New England battle rap, but we're not New England battle rap. We don't even battle here. We don't,
mm-hmm.
like, you can't just like a New England battler, especially a newer New England battler. They don't got the luxury of just jumping on a post and being like, I want Chilla, and then they just get Chilla. That's not how that works. So you can't factor that in because we can really pick and choose how we move, how we navigate through that type of traffic versus these other New England battle rappers, the newer ones, and some of them that never really reached that acclaim. They really don't got the choice. They can't just pick up the phone and call Lush One, or they can't, get a King of the Dot plate. They can't just go to iBattle, or they don't have that luxury. So a lot of times it forces them to battle each other and stay here. And that's why I want to put the list together, is because I feel like New England doesn't have a ceiling, right?
Yeah,
And more in battle rap, it's been about that ceiling, right? The $50,000 that Saint won, he got a belt for it. Real deal takes a belt. They battle each other. He got both the belts. They had the chain before that. You got crucibles now. You got all these things that you could kind of take and say it's an accolade, right? It's something that I could say is a stripe on me. iBattle has the headbands now, right? King of the Dot with the seasons. They got the season champions. They got records. They got all this other shit. New England don't have that. It's all just kind of the old school way of like whatever the fans perceive becomes the answer to who won.
yeah.
And
Majority rules. Yeah,
so I feel like having really solid people that know the culture and are part of the culture and appreciate the culture and are going to be unbiased, having those people release a list that's like, okay, these are the guys to beat. Now it's going to kind of put pressure on people. Like if you got that number one spot, and number four is calling you out and calling you out and calling you out and calling you out, and you ain't battling 2 or 3, and 4 keep calling you out, like you gonna lose your spot. You can't just have the luxury
absolutely.
of being the number one dude and sitting and only battling twice a year, and battling Tom, Dick, and Harry, or taking a away game, some or getting somebody that because a lot of times these leagues just pay like a really big name to come down and battle this random guy from your league. Like that's just not gonna. It's gonna count towards your pound for pound, but it might hurt you if you're not here back. It's like boxing. You vacate a
Mm-hmm.
title, you don't defend it. You
Yeah.
can't just stay
Mm-hmm.
number one ranking. So I feel like a lot of times these names or these bigger names in our area, they kind of get away with ducking with things like he don't got enough experience. Oh, I need a bigger bag. Oh, I want a bigger name. Or they use these things to like kind of like slither their way away from battling certain people. So I'm hoping that with the list being there, the people number one that aren't on the list are going to be hungry to get on it, and the people that are on the list are going to be hungry to not get their name kicked off it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to be a beautiful thing for the culture. Period. I think that's going to be wonderful, and I can't wait to see you put that together. Moving away from battle rap though, do you have any new music coming out?
That's a great question. I mean, I got a lot of music. Um, I heard 50. I'm a big 57 fan. I heard 50 say one time he was actually talking shit about Ja Rule, as he has done a million times, and he said something that stuck with me one time. He was like, people drop a record and then the record flops, and when it flopped, they'd be like, oh well, that album was for me. Well, if the album was for you,
Mm-hmm.
it made the shit and listened to it yourself and played it in your house. You shouldn't have released it if the record was for you, right? And I love music, but I love rap. Like I'm not the type of dude that's like, oh, this beat crazy. Like he ain't really saying nothing, but the beat's so crazy. I just won't listen to the song. You gotta say something. I gotta hear you rap.
Mm-hmm.
I care about lyricism. So if you're not rapping your ass off, or at least like saying some fire shit, like Nipsey Hussle is a great example. He don't rap his ass off, but he be saying shit, you know. And like I want to hear that message. I want to feel where you are when you write the record. So for me, it's like I make my music and I enjoy my music and I do share it. It's, you know, sometimes I share it, or, you know, for different reasons I share it, but I don't do it for everyone else. I do it for me. So that's why that a lot of shit doesn't get released. You know what I mean? But I do think that I owe it to my fans to give them something here and there, at least to, you know, bump, or to be like, oh man, this nigga's just crazy. Like sometimes I just release some shit because I know it's so dope.
Yeah.
I'm like, right, I'm gonna release this shit just so y'all can be mad. She's gonna be like, why you drop 6 songs? I hate you to death. You know what I mean? Like I do some shit like that. But so you can expect something coming very soon, probably early 2023. You know, maybe like a little EP, maybe like a little 8-track joint. Get back into that Happy Hour Towers kind of swag, where, you know, oftentimes I write when I'm on music, oftentimes I'm talking about like my life experience and struggles and shit, you know, demons and fucking, and, you know, depression and anxiety and, you know, those type of things I often talk about. But, you know, I like to have fun too, so I think I'm gonna get back into that bag, that Red Cup Kid bag, you know, at the
Red Cup Kid bag. Well,
bag.
speaking of that, 2 a.m. and Father Panic.
Yeah.
What made you write that? And for people that's not familiar with Father Panic, it's in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It was one of the worst projects in the world at one point in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get mad love in Bridgeport. Shout out to Bridgeport. Shout out to PT, Eastside, Easton. They showed me they really look quiet as kept. They showed me a lot of love when I go out there. But Father Panic, what made you write a song and call it 2 a.m. and Father Panic? By the way, the song was crazy. That's literally my favorite song from you.
Appreciate that.
So I need to know, for me, not even for the viewers, what made you write that? Like, what kind of zone was you in when you made that song?
At that time, there was a lot of rappers. I make music, but more than anything, I rap, and that's how I look at it. Like I'm like, okay, you make good music, that's cool, you got that. I ain't mad at you. I'm gonna give you all the credit in the world. You make bops. Don't talk bar for bar with me. Just don't get into that conversation. That's my conversation. That's my conversation. When, you know, when you make music, that's your conversation. I won't get into your conversation. I won't be like, nah, I'm the best musician. You know what I mean? I won't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my lane. That's not what I do this for. You know what I'm saying? So when you start seeing certain people start saying things like King of Bridgeport, King of Connecticut, or like, you know, say I'm the best lyricist, or I'm like, you know, it's like, no. 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 That's not how that works, bro. You want to talk about bar for bar, we can talk about bar for bar. That's me. That's my territory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at that time, there was a lot of that going on. You know, I had a couple situations with a couple of those rappers. You know, some of them were physical altercations. Some of them were altercations online, or, you know, things that I kind of even got like dragged into. But there was just a lot of chatter going on, and a lot of records were being dropped, and I heard a lot of subliminals on these records. And you know, these records is getting 100 views, bro. Like nobody's listening to you, but I heard it. You know what I'm saying? But I heard it. And then on top of that, there was a lot of tweeting going on, specifically with this one dude who was in his group, and I actually knew the other 2 members of the group. I still know the other 2 members of this group. Had good rapport with them, and but I didn't know the third dude, and he happened to be my girl's ex, and I had just gotten with my girl at the time, you know, who's now my wife. But he was just, you know, he was running his mouth on Twitter, not at me, not saying it to me, but saying certain shit that's obviously to me, like using terms like fly girls. Like, niggas don't say fly girls, I say fly girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, to be like little shit like that or whatever. So I heard 5 a.m. in Toronto. Drake does not rap good. He chooses not to. He chooses not to rap good. He chooses to make, you know, good music.
Hit singles.
In a while, he chooses, like, I'm gonna rap good. I'm gonna remind y'all that I can actually rap. Like, you know, I can rap good. Let me do that. So I feel like 5 a.m. in Toronto, and a lot of times those you know, the 9 a.m. in Dallas or Calabasas rather, and you know, 5 p.m. in New York. I feel like he takes that little scheme he got going often to really rap his ass off. And I heard the beat And I listened to the record. And I'm like, man, that's a dope record. That's a really dope record. I was like, let me see if I can find that beat. And I found the beat, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna talk to all of these people, but the same way that they refuse to say my name, I'm gonna refuse to say theirs. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak very fucking clearly, and I'm gonna make sure every nigga that I'm talking about knows I'm talking about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna say certain shit. Hey, I want to throw y'all sublimes, cause I'll bring it to your front door, bro. I'll just pull up to your house. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not that type of dude. But I'm like, okay, y'all want to make it music, and y'all also want to make it who's the better lyricist, and you also want to make it subliminal. Okay, cool. I'm gonna check all three of them boxes, and I'm going to fuck you up. Like, I'm gonna make a conscious decision to fuck you up. And so that's where that came from. You know, it was kind of like a response. You know, you ain't from Bridgeport. The city shut the fuck down for like a month. No one was dropping no records. Nobody was. Because I was like, okay, this is where I'm gonna take. I could take it here. If you niggas start like this, like, I could do this. I don't have to cut bars. I don't have to multi-syllable. I don't have to. If you just want to get punched in the fucking face back to back, I'll give you that. Like, if that's what you want from me, I'll give you that type of record. So that's the reason why I dropped 2 AM and Father Panic, and I named it 2 AM and Father Panic because a lot of these niggas ain't outside.
Yeah.
It's facts of the matter. A lot of these niggas ain't outside, and they was never outside. Or they're outside now that they're 29. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all wasn't outside when you was 16. So in Father Panic, you know, that it got tore down when I was like 2 years old. But my family, Father Panic, you know, I have my bloodline runs very deep in Father Panic. So I said, okay, it fits the subject of Drake's concept of time. It fits the subject of that, like, if you know any history about Father Panic, 2 AM in Father Panic Village is not where you want to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not where. So that's why I named it that. It was kind of like a metaphor of that, of like, okay, this is not where y'all want to be with me. So I'm gonna bring you to 2 AM in Father Panic. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's great. That's crazy knowing that too, because now it's all coming together for me. So thank you for that.
I'll give you one because you was like, oh, you gave him the hazy round and the A double. I'm gonna give you one. My name is Cityy Towers. My name is Cityy Towers. A lot of people wonder where my name come from, right? Number one is my real name is Richard Torres. Torres in Spanish, Torres means towers. It's the literal translation. So my last name of my rap name is my actual last name. It's in English instead of Spanish, right?
Okay.
Now, City comes from a whole bunch of different things. Number one is I dropped a record called Second Guessing, which I'll send you the record. This is when I was 16 years old. I dropped a record called Second Guessing, and it's probably my favorite record I ever made. It's a crazy record, and at that time, my rap name was just Cityy, and because that was my nickname. That, you know, I used to break before I even rapped. I used to break dance, and because my pop, I'm hip hop for real, bro. I graffiti, I DJ, you know what I'm saying? So I used to break dance, and I remember one time we did a summit in Norwalk with a whole bunch of break dancers. They had little circles, just hundreds of people in this big ass auditorium, and I was always small, and I was also young. I was probably like 9 at the time, and a whole bunch of people are breakdancing, and I wasn't signed up to participate. But I knew a lot of the dudes from just being in different places, breakdancing and shit. And one of the dudes was like, "Yo, come on! Like, we gonna use you as the secret weapon." Like, so in one of the battles that they was having, they just boom threw me in fire, and I went the fuck off, and the crowd went, "Oh my, who the fuck is this little nigga? Like, what the fuck is going on?" Like, and I would travel city to city all the time breakdancing, so they nicknamed, right? So I got that name through breakdancing, right?
That's crazy.
I added the second Y when I turned 16. I released the Second Guessing because I'll never second guess myself. 2 Ys. It's asking the question why twice, right? So that's the first metaphor of my name.
Oh, yeah.
Metaphor is the actual concept of 2 Ys. I'm 2 Ys. So Cityy, right? I see it too wisely. I see it all. So I see it 2 Ys, right? You know, and then it's also the same concept of my name is Cityy Towers, which is funny because people always try to flip it this way. This is part of my name. My name is Cityy Towers because I'm small. Cityy Towers are humongous, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, towers
Mm-hmm.
literally the highest buildings in the world are Cityy Towers, right? So that's kind of the point. Is like, yo, I'm the smallest person in the room, but I'm Cityy Towers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the biggest person in this
The
room.
biggest, big energy, yeah, fact.
You see what I'm saying? So that's a little breakdown of the meaning of my name.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. I never knew that about you, bro. That's crazy, man. I appreciate you for sharing that with us on the show. That's all I got for you. I'm gonna end here, but is there anything else you want to leave the viewers with? Now, mind you, there might be some people viewing this that's not really familiar with battle rap. So if you could like just introduce you to them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you know, it depends what you like, man. If you like rap, rap, check out battles like me and Thesaurus or me and you know, Daylight. If you like being entertained,
That day, not to
that's a
cut you off, but that daylight battle was crazy.
yeah, crazy one, right? That's me really like showing levels of my pen, how I can really rap. Another really good one is me versus Illiterate. It's not a super viewed battle, but me versus Illiterate, I really jumped in my bag, like my lyrical bag in that battle. If you like to be entertained, if you just like to watch things that are fun to watch me versus Lex Luthor, watch me versus Smooth Black, watch me versus Dorico. In the beginning, I've had 3 completely different styles. If you follow my career, I changed my style twice completely. Most battle rappers kind of like find their format and they stick with that format, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, perfect it. You know what Bruce Lee said. I don't fear the man that's practiced 10,000 kicks. I fear the man that's practiced one kick 10,000 times, right? So
yeah.
you know,
So Frontline City, captain of that Maniac Squad. That's not the city
that's
that
one.
we're seeing today.
You know,
That,
I just that was one bag of Cityy Towers, right? Which was like the initial first bag, and then that Red Cup Kid era was the second bag, which was really when I started, you know, the Bricks battle and the My Block Beezy. That's another really great one if you like just to be entertained. My Block Beezy, we battled for $2,000.
I think another one I seen live, I think, was you versus Presidential Dubs. I think I was in the building for that
yeah,
one.
that was
Another good battle.
heated battle. Shout out to Presidential Dubs.
Yeah.
You know, we had a little animosity going
Some
on.
words before, yeah.
But that's a great one in the resume. And then there's the greatest comeback of all time. You know, the third style I switched into, which is the bag I kind of been in now. So you know, go on YouTube, look up Cityy Towers 2 Ys. All the battles pop up. You know, download and subscribe to the iBattle app. They release literally 4, 5, 6 events every single month. You don't got to pay, you know, $50 to go watch a one pay-per-view. Pay $25 and you get access to all the older battles and you get access to all the pay-per-views. On top of that, 6 pay-per-views happen throughout a month. It's a wow value.
And definitely shout out to Lex Luthor and everything he's doing with
yeah,
iBattle. That's incredible, bro.
Big. And then one thing I can't talk about, I can't get into yet because the paperwork hasn't been signed, though the dates and everything have been confirmed. I have what's gonna be clearly by a margin the biggest battle of my career coming up very soon. A wild, really wild battle. I think it's gonna be one of those situations, and you know, this is kind of me concluding the greatest comeback of all time. I think it's gonna be another one of those situations where if you poll it before the battle, it's gonna be 100-0. It's gonna be
100.
It's gonna be one of those battles where they're like, "Yo, what the fuck is he gonna do with him?" You know, because
I'm not losing my money. I'm not betting against City. So
yeah,
especially
but
after that Thesaurus battle.
yeah, it's definitely gonna impact a lot. It's gonna change a lot. So shout out, you know, look out for that. That's coming very, very soon. Really, really big announcement. Probably within, I don't know, maybe a month or a month and a half, it'll be announced. You know, just
as soon
a lot.
as I find out, I'm gonna come back and let y'all know. Y'all already know that, so stick with me. You know what I'm saying?
Really, just, you know, kind of look out for that. Like I said, early January of next year, you'll get a little bit of music from me, and then I'm really gonna kind of step into, and I have already been stepping into that, you know, kind of the background scene and like really helping like the young cats, develop.
I see that, yeah.
You know, really trying to get them big plates and really try to a lot of times these really talented individuals, they end up kind of running into a brick wall because they don't know how to move, right? They
Maneuver through the
take, not take. They don't know what battles are going to help them. They don't know how to get to that next platform or that next level. And at the end of the day, man, it's always about the new generation. It's always about the young cats. A lot of these kids don't have nothing, man. They just have rap. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even if I could just grab one of these 14, 15, 16-year-old kids and have him in his room writing raps instead of, you know,
being in the street. And that's incredible. That's
even if you
big,
grab
bro.
one of these people and take them out of that mindset and be like, yo, there's more out here. You can travel. You can make money. You can, you know what I'm saying, do things that you love. You don't have to be on this dumbass social media style reality. Like, you can really live a life and have fun while you're doing it. Like, so that's really where my focus lies right now, is like taking that step back, being a little bit more, not, I don't want to say media because I think that's a little bit aggressive, but, you know, doing the pound for pound list, you know, popping out to events, supporting the local leagues, and really like just being kind of that aggressive, but, you know, doing the pound for pound list, you know, popping out to events, supporting the local leagues, and really like just being kind of that part of New England battle rap that I guess like I want to regulate. I want to regulate that's going on out here. I want to make sure that we're representing the region of New England properly. I want, you know, people that never heard of battle rap, when they tune into New England, they like, oh, word, these niggas is like me. Not like these niggas is arrogant and these niggas is, that's a Massachusetts nigga and that's, nah, like it's like here, you know, these niggas is, they do shit like we do shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the role that I'm going to be.
It's so much things starting to happen for New England battle rap. I see now like new leagues popping up, like shout out to Death Row and what they doing over there. Shout out to GK. And also I think Chilla Jones is he sharp with what he doing with Shark Tank, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things happening for New England battle rap, and
involving me soon too.
for real.
That's another one too. Shark Tank's gonna have a really, really big announcement that I'm involved in very soon. So probably like within the week. So stay tuned for that.
I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes open. And I'm gonna close soon, but I'm gonna just say that one of the things that I wanted to capture, one of my goals when I was writing for this interview or preparing for this interview, was to capture how intelligent you are, because I think a lot of people miss that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like I know you got a big fan base, and I don't know what they actually see outside of battle rap. You know what I'm saying? But I've met you a few times at battles, and you really is a smart dude. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to kind of capture that, so hopefully I did that, and my viewers could see that you more than just big in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a great human being as well. You came a long way. You show a lot of growth. And I want to give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Like big salute to you, bro, and keep doing what you're doing. I'm watching. I'm a big fan, and I respect everything you're doing. That's all.
Man,
and I appreciate you for coming on the show too.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on the channel, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, we just like I said, man, we pushing forward, man. We reading books, and you know what I mean. We fixing credit scores, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and I say it all the time. It's funny. You've heard me say it, you know, in battles and shit. Like, bro, there's a stream in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? Like, like my kids. You know, I dropped this. Actually, I did a feature on one of my man's records, and the first line of the feature is, "My kids ain't gonna never know ghetto shit."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of my goals. Like, one of my biggest goals in my life is that my kids can't say nigga. Mm-hmm. Like, they sound awkward saying it. They're not from that. They don't know what that is. That's one of my, that's like the biggest flex to me, is like, my kids are not going to be them type of kids. My kids is going to be, you know, don't get it twisted. I'm going to teach them little niggas how to fight. But, you know, but I want my kids to be the type of kids that, like, go see the world, that don't understand why shit is happening to her. Don't go there. Don't, you know what I mean? Like, they don't, that's really, really big for me, because I come from absolutely fucking nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I moved out of my mother's house when I was 15 years old. I've never had anything. I never had anybody to give me anything. You know, so for me, it's like, I really want to, you know, and no, that's absolutely no shade to my parents. My parents are incredible, by the way. My parents are incredible. They did everything they could with what they had, 100,000,000%.
Always it was rough in the night. It was rough. Yeah. The 90s was rough for everybody.
It was a fucked up time. Niggas know it was a fucked up time. And we was
a fucked up time,
You know, I remember one year, man, my fucking mom bought me K-Swiss shoes, bro. Like front top of I had to wear last year's Nikes because I couldn't go to school. I was gonna die. Like, I couldn't do that. It was that,
But
you know what I'm saying? So like, that's the biggest thing for me, man. Is just like it's okay to read books, man. Read some books, man.
facts, yeah, for real, for real.
I mean, yeah,
All
but I
right,
appreciate
well,
it.
no doubt, brother. Thank you for after everything you do, we're gonna have you on again in the future, man. So just keep doing what you're doing. Stay in touch, man. We're a big fan. Love you. I'm gonna close you out and give the viewers a little bit of what I got going on next week.
Yeah, dude.
All right, brother. All right, that was big interview with Cityy Towers. Again, appreciate him for coming on the show. I think that was a great interview. That went very well. Next week, I have a guy that goes by the name of the Spaghetti Guy, and he will be here with us next week. He's doing a lot of activism in Hartford, Connecticut. Got a lot of things going on. He's actually throwing a party for kids and trying to get like things going on for the kids and that community. So we're gonna get with him and see what he's all about. He got some other things in the works too. I'm gonna let him tell y'all. So he'll be here next week. Tap in for that. It's gonna be very good. Very good. As always, love each other, but even more than that, love yourselves, because at the end of the day, what's inside of you is what you will pour out into the world. So love yourself and then try to, you know what I'm saying, translate that love into action and do good by your neighbors. I love y'all. I really do.
We can storm anywhere. It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life. Can't change.